Hello, Miami. It is November the 14th, and about this time, about 28 years ago, I was in labor with my daughter, like trying to squeeze that kid out. She did not want to come. Anyway, today we are sitting here and we have a lot to investigate, a lot to take care of in terms of our election processes, and you are not going to believe what I found during the entire process. Will you guys comment if you can see me live on Twitter? Let me just check to make sure that you can see me there, that you can see me on Facebook, not Instagram, but Facebook. Where are we? Facebook, Twitter, YouTube. Right now, I have several podcasts where we're able to take some of the content on other places. Thank you so much. Whoever just gave me thumbs up. Let me see if I can see you. I'm not able to see who gave thumbs up, but thank you very much. Yes, coming in loud and clear on YouTube. So thank you very much for tuning in today, because this might be one of the most critical town halls you are going to see. So I'm hoping that my content is uploading so that you guys can see exactly what I saw during the election process as a whole here in Miami-Dade County, because when I went to vote for the election, obviously, when I went in, they immediately recognized my name, considering there's only 8 people on the ballot as a whole. So the poll manager walked me through the entire process. Well, first of all, I noticed on our keypad, there was this really weird oath that you should see in the video. So I'm just going to start taking you guys through it so you can see. Yes, I'm going to share what I found. Thank you so much, Mother, for tuning in. Yes, so I'm very much looking forward to showing everybody else what I found throughout the process. Are you guys ready? Ready to see what our election process is like? Well, first of all, let me say this. Your politicians, before we actually sign up to become a candidate, we only take an oath to say where we live. There is no investigation done whatsoever. So that, number one, would be the first thing that I would change if I were in office, is to make sure that our election process actually contains proof of address. In other words, just a utility bill, the basic things that you would need in order to go get a driver's license. But a driver's license is not even required to sign up to become a candidate for office in Miami-Dade County. Or at least the city of Miami. I cannot speak for all of Miami-Dade County, but I can just tell you that I do not think even that alone is per Florida statute. So the way I read the statute is maybe not the way you read the statute, but anyway, I am in conversation with attorneys on even that process as a whole, because I think that could be one of the ways that we are compromised to be in the very beginning. So anybody can actually sign up. It doesn't matter where you are. You can take your passport, by the way, which does not have an address on it, and you can sign up at the elections department. I know this sounds, at the at City Hall. So I know this sounds absolutely absurd. So there could be a lot of malpractices that are going on within the entire process. I'm talking to doctors right now with malpractice, but it is a malpractice issue as a whole within our city government. So these are things that I'm investigating right now. So if you think it's very odd that you do not have to show proof of where you're living and proof of residency, please make sure you comment below. Let me know. Make sure that you go to Christi4Miami.com, sign up, and make sure that we have, all of these different things. And yes, we do need more proof of address to rent a car than you do to run for office. That is absolutely the truth. So, which is crazy. An oath is not enough. So this entire election process, when I went in to vote, this is actually on my YouTube channel. I'll show you where it's located. So it's on the home page at the top. Should be under just videos. Yeah. So if you go to videos here, because later when I post more videos, you'll see this. So here I am just walking through with the poll manager, and I have not got a thumbnail on this, so I will get a thumbnail on it. So what started out during this process is me discovering that there was another oath to be taken to vote, but yet there was no oath given to me yet. I was supposed to sign saying I'd gotten the oath. You'll see where he's actually looking this up. So that's where it all started. So let's just roll.
It's just really strange that they would make it say something like that,
Yeah.
And coronation. Okay,
If
so
that comes up, Mark.
so that comes up. So the moment that comes up and I hit, are the names and address for the voters correct? Are the
Yeah.
names and the address for the voters correct?
Yes,
When I hit yes,
yes.
that's what comes up. The oath.
Okay.
So I'm at the
So in other words, I'd asked the poll manager, when I noticed like I was having to sign saying that I'd been given an oath, I'm like, but I haven't been given an oath. And he's like, yeah, you're right. And this is the first time that this has appeared on our screens. Today, like that day, November the 7th was the first day the poll station manager said that he had ever noticed that there was an oath appearing on the screen, like on the signature screen. So he said everybody else had signed the signature screen, and he had also wondered why there was an oath issue or this oath message had suddenly appeared.
the name.
Yeah, and it should just say,
The name.
I confirm
Yeah,
the
exactly.
signature
Exactly.
is correct.
So
Not an
what
oath.
see, that's the part. Are the names and address of the voters correct?
Correct, okay.
So you ask them, are the names that's what they have to agree that they're the
Yes.
individuals that are signing.
Yes.
But I understand what you're saying.
Yeah,
What you're saying.
yeah.
Yeah, that's something that you
Because
can
an
bring
oath
up.
is
You
a
know,
very good
you know,
use.
you know who you can bring that up with elections direct.
Yeah, and I normally.
Especially if you're a candidate,
Yeah, just
You
ask
can bring that up.
Yes.
And say, hey, why am I
Yeah.
getting oath here? They're asking you something.
An
that-
oath, yeah, because you're not even like aware that
Yeah.
you're having to sign an oath.
Yeah. So
I mean, in other words, I could be saying like, I'm gonna go out and murder somebody. For
yeah, no, I know. What are you signing for?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Circle the ballot style.
Okay.
and the precinct
Did you get a
numbers.
pass?
And what you
No.
gotta do is you
Okay,
go
didn't get a
to
pass. Ready?
precinct numbers to your ballot.
Okay, now you
Okay.
can
The
sign.
nice lady with the black jacket on, she's gonna help you. Okay. Thank
Just
you
for
voting.
transparency, I agree that my signature is correct.
There you go. And now,
That I am really this person.
Yeah,
Yeah.
smart lady. It's
Yeah.
always good to just ask the question.
and then I gotta compare your signature to what's there.
Mhm. So you
Yes.
guys are responsible for physical, like visually comparing.
Yeah.
Okay.
So right now I'm doing this, and when it's not close, I ask you to re-sign it, and it's
Okay.
close enough for me to say yes.
And I assume it saves that signature as well.
So that's
So yes, this is basically how our signatures are validated. So I'm just gonna say, that's super concerning. We're supposed to have a 15-point check in technology signature verification process. So I don't know if our Secretary of Elections is following suit with that, which is national standards.
signature, all that is
Yeah.
saved, and
Okay.
then look,
Okay.
and then here's what they do now.
Okay.
That signature is actually printed on your actual.
Okay.
So what's here is the following, just so you kind of know, because you won't see this paper again, because it's going to be dropped in the ballot.
Okay.
It says the precinct. It has your name, your date of birth, your address, and the signature of yourself. And then it says page 1 of 1, right? She signs it over there, page 1 of 1.
Yes.
Okay, at the location
She's
and at the
initialing.
time, and you have to initial it, and then we're going to circle the
This is the
Precinct.
ballot style number,
ballot style
Okay.
number.
and this is the precinct number, and you're gonna compare those numbers to your ballot and make sure you have that number correct.
So the two things, since you're one of the candidates, I kind of want to give you
Yeah.
a little tour of what we do.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
she gives you a ballot, right? You sign it. It gets the ballot goes into the DS
Okay.
2000.
Okay.
Then that ballot gets dumped in there. It's sealed in there. At the end of the day, I transmit the votes electronically via that machine directly to Central. But what I then do is I take the physical thumb drive of that machine to the election collection center tonight,
Okay.
along
Like
with
you have to take it and drop it off.
physically, even though everything was transferred and everything already made it there, I physically will come at the end of the
Thank you,
night.
Dad. Thank you so
I'm
much.
just showing you this, just so
Okay.
you know that part of it.
Yep.
So that's sealed. That's sealed in there, right?
Okay.
So what I do is I physically grab that thumb drive. I take that thumb drive with me to Election Central,
Okay.
and they
You
know
take
that
ballots with you as
these
well?
ballots go with us.
Okay.
It
But
goes-
they go with you and the thumb
no,
drive? No. separate?
Another individual takes
Okay.
the ballots in
Okay,
case
okay,
something
okay.
happens to me.
Yeah.
And then they seal the ballot. They seal the ballot box. They put
Is
this
the ballot box sealed here or there?
it's sealed right here.
Here. Okay.
And then what's put on the ballot is the number of the machine,
Okay.
the actual serial number of the machine, the precinct, the date, and which of the machines it is. And then me and the clerk sign that seal.
Okay.
Somebody else takes that. I go with the thumb drives.
Okay.
Then those things get counted. Well, you're gonna
Right.
after you're done voting,
Yeah.
this goes into here. We
Okay.
count those. They have to match this number,
Okay.
and that number has to match all the
So 163
163
have been here today?
today.
Okay, okay.
Now, the precinct's much larger,
Yeah,
but a lot of people are voting via mail.
right.
So that number
Is for the whole precinct or for today?
for that's just for today here.
Today.
But a lot of the precinct is voted via mail.
Right.
So Election Central knows that number. So the EVITs, all those EVITs, now that I just gave you that printout, that number is registered over there as well.
Okay.
That number has to.
So he just told us that they know the numbers of people who voted, and they know that those numbers have already gone to the election department.
Match this.
Okay.
That has to match this.
Okay.
These get transferred over to Central. My thumb drive that I take.
So it gets transferred over to Central. So in other words, for all 10 days that we vote, they know how many people have voted. They know who they voted for.
Take over to the collection center, and it has to match their number.
This is very interesting.
So everything has to be. So at the end of the night, if there's a count missing there,
Yeah.
one of those are missing.
Yeah.
That's why his job is to make sure nobody walks out with this.
Mhm.
And then we have a problem. Then we create an incident report.
Okay.
Now we have to say, okay, how many of those ballots we have here, and why is this higher?
Okay.
Now it's an incident report. That's logged in as an incident report. So that's why during the day, we're making sure that no one's leaving their ballots at the voting booths to make sure that everything has to add up.
Yeah, at the end.
And then, so that's the kind of checks and balances of what we do here, and then when we drop it off in Election Central.
And you have to have how many people to do all this?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 people.
Do you, as a poll watcher, worker, manager, you're the manager, right?
I'm the yes.
Supervisor.
I'm the
Yes,
yes.
okay.
Right, Election
So
Central.
do you think that it's easier to do all of this, or would it be easier if there were actually a hand count on paper? Because if it's only 163, we can all count the
Yes,
163,
but
right?
but here's the thing. Ready?
Yeah, yeah. I'm very curious
Yeah.
what your thoughts are.
So as the night goes by and these votes start coming in, let's just say it's one of those presidential evenings where it's a competitive election, like the one coming up in 2 years.
Yeah.
And then CNN and Fox and all these, they're reporting, oh, we're getting this report, we're getting this report. Those reports are coming because as we speak, they know how many votes are here. So they more or less know the amount of people that are voted that are supposed to be part of this district.
Mhm.
So they kind of start giving me all those preliminary numbers. The moment I close this and it transmits, Central already knows that. Collection Center knows that. So they start giving you statistics as to what percentage of people have already voted, right? So they know the stats here. They know
Right.
that from this machine.
So that just goes online.
So
basically.
what I'm saying to you is that the moment we close at 7, but we don't leave the premises till about 8:30
Yeah.
after we're done with everything, 9.
Yeah.
By the time I drive there, by the time I drop, so
Yeah.
think about what time they'll be getting my physical thumb
Stick.
drive.
Yeah, the thumb
They,
drive.
they won't get it until many hours later. They'll probably get that at 10, but yet they're reporting by 9 o'clock. They start reporting already. Oh, we're getting these stats,
Yeah.
we're getting that stats. And so
So it is transmitted online. 'Cause
this
they
is
keep
transmitted via these machines
Yeah.
have basically a modem, and they have a transmittal electronic transmittal form.
Gotcha. Okay.
So they get transferred immediately.
Okay.
So what we have here is for people who have obviously
Okay, so I'm going to quit sharing now. He basically just goes into the handicap voting. So, in other words, everything happens via modem, via technology. And technology is reporting what happens. Well, what I know in technology as a technologist is that it's very easy to create an algorithm to flip a vote. So that's what I know. Okay. I know it's very, very easy. I know it's very difficult for the public to realize, but when you realize that these machines are online Think about how many times your credit card has been hacked, your bank account, your basic telephone, okay? How many times your email's been hacked? That is what we are dealing with. So those are the issues that I have with our voting system. So not only that, but we also have to look at this entire mail-in ballot process, because I want to know I want to see exactly what the cameras say, how many people actually dropped off ballots, because we saw in Georgia where there are mules, in other words, a lot of people that are multiplying these ballots, going out and getting them, picking them up from people, maybe paying for them. I don't really know, but we are going to find out. We're going to find out who signed up to pick up ballots. We're going to match that with the cameras, and we are going to find out if our elections are actually real, what the actual results are, because even in this election, I'm seeing two different numbers, even on myself. So at minimum, I'm talking to 275 of you that voted for me. And I appreciate you very, 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 very much. And we are going to get to the bottom of this no matter what, because we have got to know if we actually have fair elections here in Miami. We have got to make sure that we have transparency with the candidates that sign up in the future. We have got to make sure that there's at least a background check done on the candidates, so that the background check is made public, so that you are aware of who you're voting for. You're not having to hear from another candidate versus another candidate. You would know if we have speeding tickets, if we've been pulled over, if we've been arrested. Those are the type of things you have no idea of. Okay, that you should absolutely have an idea of before you go and vote. And it shouldn't be up to another candidate to have to defame another candidate because of lack of voting. And by the way, here in Miami-Dade, there's actually this report that they want you to fill out. It's basically another oath that they want you to fill out that's totally voluntary, saying that you will not throw another candidate under the bus. Oh, you'll play nice in the sandbox. You won't talk about them. And if you sign that oath, and you do those things, basically, if you utilize your First Amendment rights, they can then come and arrest you. That's how crazy this is. Okay. So this is nothing I'm making up. This is the absolute truth within the entire election process, and it's despicable. So a lot of you are wondering, like, who am I going to vote for in this runoff? Well, first of all, I don't really know yet. Okay. I've said on my show earlier today that I have spoken to Damian Pardo at length, who he did answer the majority of my questions. I'm still waiting for Sabina Kovo to get back with me. She has not, responded to any of my Twitter messages or messages with anybody else. She's not really responsive. So if she's going to continue to not be responsive, I will definitely be voting for Damian Pardo. So I will let you guys know that in a public statement. If I decide that I'm going to publicly endorse him or her, I will let you know. Okay. Thank you guys for tuning in today. If you have questions, oh, by the way, make sure, let me actually go over this with you. Make sure that you are following me on other social media. Okay. I wanted to go over this with you because I want to make sure that you know where to find me. You can actually go on Instagram, Facebook. You can, and what I'll do is I'll just show you the Instagram. So that way, if you are on Instagram, you can follow me there. Or on Twitter, you're pretty much going to have the same handles. Make sure that you are following me here. I'm going to continue to talk about Miami issues here. I'll just change this to just Christi Tasker so that you guys can follow my work there. Okay. The other place that I want you to follow is, okay, so this can also be confusing because, obviously my name is Christi Tasker. My brand is Christi Tasker. So this is my brand site here, okay? So this is where I sell all my jewelry and everything. So make sure that you do follow there. That is a great way for you to support me, especially during the holiday season, because we do ship everywhere. We have fashion jewelry, conversational designer jewelry, and all is luxury for less, meaning it's affordable. And you can go on and see, even on Instagram, you can see the items that are tagged and, what people actually like. So anyway, it's kind of fun. So they're typically the inspiration of the designs are also included on Instagram. And then you can also follow me on PS This Rocks. Okay. PS This Rocks. This is me as well. This is my luxury lifestyle blog. and luxury for less. So, and I post a lot of fun things on here. If you want to go like inside my life, this is where you go. Okay. Cause this is just, part of, what I like to showcase here, family, what I'm doing, my travels, my dogs, everything. You can kind of, get inside my thoughts here. Okay. So that's my biggest platform. You can see that there. Then also, even though I've been banned many times for this other news behind truth. Actually, no, I think we're Patriots Perspective here. Yeah, here we go. Okay, so you can also follow me on Patriots Perspective. This is a site that this actually has an entire blog behind it. So I would definitely recommend that you go here to the blog and you can actually see all of my latest shows, work. Listen, you may not agree with everything, but the reality is, there's a lot of major issues and a lot of investigative reporting that I have covered on patriotsperspective.com. So make sure that you do go on and follow the work there. I will show you this. Okay. And you can see, I've investigated everybody from the Britney Spears conservatorship, out of Hollywood to researchers that have been found dead, along with, one of the biggest is the John Walsh story, because Megan Walsh is a good friend of mine. So I've heavily investigated Florida Family and Children's Services and how they fund the system, and how John Walsh has actually utilized his son's Adam Walsh to weaponize CPS against his daughter, Megan. So do go on and follow these posts. There's a lot more you can read here, along with, just research in general. So you'll see all of that on my blog, on that particular blog, but also make sure that you follow PS This Rocks blog. Okay, so this is my work as a blogger, a travel blogger. So if you want to know like where I go, what I do, what I like, I also have recipes, beauty, fashion, art, design, travel, and parenting and DIY tips. Okay, so this is my lovely daughter. Her birthday is tomorrow. That's the one that I mentioned earlier. So make sure that you go on and you can, see how she was raised, and she is a very successful adult. So she is also a nurse and a physician's assistant in a hospital. You can also see my grandfather's information and this is all under parenting. This is an article my mom wrote regarding my grandfather, who is a huge inspiration. He actually worked in the American embassies around the world, and he was the one who actually delivered to JFK that Fidel was planning to take over Cuba. And I believe my grandfather always knew that we could have stopped it. So whether, that's the case or not, that's probably his point of view. He actually told my father that, and I did not know until he had passed away. So my grandfather had like Mussolini's cars growing up. And so he actually, Mom, did he purchase this in Thailand?
No, Africa.
Africa, sorry.
Ethiopia.
He purchased it in Ethiopia. So my grandparents lived all over the world with my mom and her sister. So, we have been to Acapulco, which was recently hit by catastrophe, so all of these places, a lot of the places that I talk about, I've actually been to, including China. We do not want it here. And I am fighting for us to make sure that we do not have communism here. And I say communism is at bay, and I say no way. And it may sound like, just a poet and didn't know it, but the reality is we basically have, it's a huge deal that we have to realize is here. So if you're not following me on Twitter, sometimes I'm able to get things out a little faster on Twitter, which we are showing here right now. But like even today, let me actually just share with you this tab. So Twitter, I'm Christi for Miami. So I actually do share a lot of my research here, especially when investigators need to see it fast. Today I said SOS America is right. There is nothing conservative about our globalist-owned Francis Suarez. He and his father have sold Miami out. Xavier works for Russian oligarchs tied directly to the Kremlin. So I've given information. I have basically asked them to investigate different things, and believe it or not, they do follow my work there. So anyway, it's kind of funny when I call them to try to give them, information. They're like, "Oh, we've gotten it off your Twitter." So it's actually much easier to communicate with them that way. And I'm not trying to hide anything because I'm not a part of their globalist regime. Matter of fact, I've done nothing but call it out.
American voice, David.
So this is on a censored media group. It's called a Real America's Voice, because our communist style mainstream media often doesn't let us say things like what you're going to hear.
He's really great. Christi Tasker, she's running for the Miami City Council as a commissioner, right?
Correct. That's right. I'm running against a person who can't even say the Pledge of Allegiance for our country and has ties to the Colombian gang.
Wow, that's pretty scary. So you're maintaining that there's corruption down there, Coral Gables, other parts of Miami. Tell me about what's going on.
Well, I'm not specifically in Coral Gables. I'm the city of Miami, but we have more corruption there than I can possibly shake a leg at. And we have the Ponzi Postalita running our entire city, claiming that homelessness is gone, our streets no longer flood. All while, if you just look at his commercial, Suarez, yeah, that's Francis Suarez. If you just look at his commercial, I say they actually filmed him running. And in his I'm running, if you just look, they do his reflection in our flooded streets. So I thought that was kind of comical.
Well, he's been getting a lot of positive press, even among the, on the right. I Came to Faith and Freedom. He was a big hit, saying he reformed homelessness in Miami, cut down the crime, a Giuliani-esque type revival, a renaissance in Miami. Do you think that's true?
Oh, absolutely not. We have homelessness. Matter of fact, we have developers that are bringing in their workers. So oftentimes you'll see developers T-shirts that they're working at on a daily basis underneath our street bridges. And very few people are walking there. They don't even know that they exist. And when it comes to the workers themselves, many of them cannot speak English at all. So we don't even know if they're illegal. And there's no politician willing to hear this.
Now, Mayor Suarez's father was the mayor, right, in Miami?
Yeah, matter of fact, Mayor Suarez's father, who was actually mayor back in the 80s and 90s, he's been on the commission. It's kind of gone back and forth for almost 30 years. He and his father and others have gone back and forth. We're literally being run by government gangsters. And if you don't believe in election fraud, you should just look up Xavier Suarez and Joe Carollo, who actually had a case that the judge deemed fraudulent, where one of them was put back in over another. And about 2 weeks ago, Joe Carollo, who I call Sloppy Joe, because he doesn't even know how to clean up his own mess, actually was fined for gerrymandering 63.5.
So you're saying there's corruption in gerrymandering as well?
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Favoring the Democrats or?
Favoring whoever's on their team. It actually goes on, it's a bi-party.
Yeah, okay. So one more question. Talk about crypto, CTX relationship between Mayor Suarez. What do you think about that?
It's like a joke. Okay, so I'm in technology. So when it comes to crypto, we call him the crypto bro. He's literally backed Sam Bankman-Fried. I think we all know where that's got us in the FTX scandal. And it's so bad that they actually put FTX on our arena. And so it was branded that. We lost millions of dollars between him and the county mayor.
All right, we have 30 seconds. Tell us what you're going to do for the residents of Miami, and where can they follow you?
My name is Christi Tasker. You can go to Christi, CHRISTI, 4 Miami.com. And please follow me on social media at Christi4Miami.
All right, you heard it. Christi Tasker, running for Miami City Commissioner. Back to you, Ed. Thank you.
So that's what we were at. So I called out the corruption then. It doesn't matter which side somebody's on. Corruption has no boundaries, and it certainly has no labels, and it certainly has no party. We have a uniparty working together. So the minute we all figure that out, we will be better off. Right now, we have actually politicians from here working directly with Qatar, Russia, And those connections go all the way back to Hamas. So for those of you who really care about the Israeli people and care about humanity as a whole, please make sure that you investigate that. Follow me, and let's make sure that we keep our government in check together. God bless you all. Thank you for this afternoon. Thank you for your time, and thank you for your attention. And I especially thank my 275-ish voters out there who voted for me, who believed in me, and who our Miami-Dade Secretary of Elections decided to put on my list. So let's go investigate this, and let's find the truth once and for all. And no matter what, Miami, I'm still not going anywhere, because we are going to stop the government gangsters.